Colorado Republican Congressman-elect Ken Buck. Good to have you, sir. So the Wall Street Journal editorial board has this headline this morning: who's crazy enough to be a Republican speaker? And a little tongue-in-cheek there, but I do think people look at this and think this seems like an impossible job anyway. What do you expect to happen in 2 hours from now?
Well, first of all, I think it's the worst job in America, and I don't know who would want it. You have to literally juggle 10 different interest groups in a conference. I think what's going to happen in 2 hours, either we are going to adjourn again and continue negotiations, or a deal has been reached. The outline of the deal was just mentioned. I think McCarthy is willing to go there. I don't know if the 20 who are holding out are willing to go there.
Sir, I want to go back to Sean's interview last night with the Colorado Congresswoman-elect Lauren Boebert, who barely won her re-election battle there. This thing was hot. It went on for 10 minutes. Another sample of that right now from last night.
Well, Sean, he needs 218, and he does not have 218. We've been trying to work this out. I have seen the broken trust. I have seen the lack of accountability. Well, we are getting phone calls saying that we need to stop this. Kevin does not have the votes for speaker, period.
This went on, sir, and Hannity's point is that why do 10% of the caucus hold up the entire operation when you've got big issues to get to, and is what the American people voted for, frankly, in November?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. The first, there are a group of people, 5, 6, 7 people who just don't like Kevin McCarthy. They've had issues with him. They're not going to vote for him. Then you've got another group of people who want certain policy issues or procedure issues. So you add that together with a very small majority, and you end up with this stalemate. I think that what has to happen is either Kevin has to reach an agreement with these folks at some point early today, or we need to move on and try to find a consensus candidate that those 5 or 6 can agree to. But in a small majority, a group of 20 can control.
Let me ask you something. So we understand from a couple of different sources that the Kevin McCarthy camp believes that they have made progress overnight with some sort of agreement. Maybe it's not enough, but do you have any insight into that? Can you tell us if that would maybe get you maybe halfway towards the goal of getting to those 10? Out of 20.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think there is an agreement. I think it's a reasonable agreement, and I think what's holding it up right now is there's sort of a blood oath between the 20 that they won't move until they're all ready to move. And so even though 9, 10, 11 of them may agree to this compromise that's been reached, I don't think that they will all move until they're all ready to move.
Mm-hmm. You said something there a moment ago, and Mick Mulvaney kind of said it too on another network, describing this personality issue that the 20 have with McCarthy. Is it really just personality, or is it on some measure of conservative principles?
Well, there are some that are basically conservative principles. They want to have a term limit vote. They want to have a balanced budget vote. Others have just had, Kevin McCarthy's PAC play in their primary, and they're very mad about the fact that he has tried to stop conservatives from winning and coming to Congress.
Congressman, let me ask you about that term limit thing. Is that for the Congress to decide, or for the people who elect the congressmen to decide? You know, there are some places that might want to have term limits. Other constituents might not want to have that. Is it just for chairmanships, or would this be for any congressperson?
Well, it would be for members of the House. It's ridiculous because the Senate isn't going to pass it.
Right.
The president isn't going to sign it. So it really doesn't make much difference. It's more of a messaging bill, I assume. I'm not one of the people that's demanding that, but it's one of the messaging bills that some of the members want to put forward.
Yeah. And messaging bills, you know, it's one of those things that you go back over the last several years where Republicans say that, you know, that there's not enough fight, but what you just pointed out is the Senate will never pass that. So you can have a messaging bill, you can say that till you're red in the face, but it's not, if it doesn't make a bit of difference, then you're wasting the American people's time. Not you, sir. I'm just saying that overall, that this fight is something that is a little bit pointless, and maybe it can get solved today. Your prediction, does it get solved today, or do you vote into the weekend?
I think we probably vote into the weekend. Even if we had a solution today, it would take a period of time to get those votes to occur. But I think, you know, one of the points that this group of 20 makes, and it's a valid point, this place has been broken. We've been spending too much money. We need to make change. If it takes us a few days to make change, it's worth it if in the long run, in the next year, year and a half, we're able to show the American people that we have better policies as a result.
Yeah.